The first vibration came at 3:11 a.m. Then another. Then another. By the time my eyes focused enough to read the screen, the number had already climbed to 42 missed calls, all from her. At first I thought it was a glitch, or some emergency, or maybe guilt finally rotting its way to the surface. But then I saw the message. You need to let me in, now. No explanation, no apology, just entitlement, like she still had the right to demand anything from me. I walked to the living room in silence. The house felt different at night, colder, like it finally understood who it belonged to. I looked at the front door, the new locks I'd installed, the one she didn't have keys for, and waited for the next vibration. It came instantly. Missed call number 43, then number 44, then number 45. The phone felt heavy in my hand, but not as heavy as the memory she was trying to claw her way back into. Our anniversary dinner, her whisper across the table, the moment she ended us like she was ordering dessert. My chest tightened, not with sadness, those died weeks ago, but with a cold understanding. She wasn't calling because she loved me, she was calling because something had gone wrong, terribly wrong. I didn't know the full truth then, but I felt its shadow waiting for me, patient and inevitable. And I didn't rush toward it. I let her messages pile up like corpses. The betrayal began with a smile, a small, practiced smile she had rehearsed in the mirror 100 times. We were at a dimly lit restaurant, candles flickering between us. She wore the dress I'd bought her, the one she said made her feel chosen. Maybe that was the joke. She looked at me with eyes that weren't mine anymore and said, almost casually, "I'm not your property. I'm opening our marriage." Just like that. No crack in her voice, no hesitation, like she'd been waiting for this moment, savoring it. The waiter poured wine. She reached across the table, touched my hand like she was offering comfort, then withdrew it before I could react. That was the real goodbye. But the killing blow didn't come from her words. It came when she leaned over and pressed her lips against my best friend's cheek. Slow, deliberate, intimate. Then she walked out with him. She didn't look back. I didn't chase. I went home, changed the locks, filed for divorce before midnight. She thought she had power. She didn't know I had already made my peace with losing her long before she decided to lose me. The next week, she was a ghost. Silence. No calls, no messages. I assumed she was busy drowning in her own freedom. Until my daughter, younger than she should be for a conversation like that, grabbed my arm one evening. Her voice shook. "Dad, you have to let Mom in. She's pregnant, and she has an STD. You need to save your child. My child." I felt the earth tilt. Not from shock, but from the effort it took not to laugh. They didn't know. Nobody knew. I had a vasectomy 3 years ago. Quietly, privately, right after my wife told me she wasn't ready for another kid, but somehow kept showing signs of being ready with someone else. I let my daughter finish. She cried. She begged me to help. I hugged her, whispered reassurance, and said nothing else. Inside, the truth sharpened like a blade. If my wife was pregnant, it wasn't mine. It had never been mine. And her frantic calls weren't about saving a family. They were about avoiding the consequences of her own lies. So I gathered evidence. Quietly. Phone records, location logs, DNA test kits she didn't know I placed in her purse, screenshots, financial trails. Every secret she thought she had buried bloomed like poison under a blacklight. When the results arrived, the world didn't explode. It froze. Not my child. Not my infection. Not my responsibility. I didn't storm into a confrontation. I didn't scream. I simply placed the reports on the table when she finally managed to corner me outside the house. Tears streaked her face. Desperation clung to her voice. "Please, just listen. I didn't know. He said, this isn't how." I held up a hand, calm, detached. Her eyes darted to the DNA result, then the vasectomy date, then the phone logs. Something inside her broke so loudly I swear I heard it. She collapsed, sobbing. I didn't help her up. Revenge didn't feel like fire. It felt like ice. I didn't insult her, didn't yell, didn't ask why, because the why never mattered. I just said, "This house isn't yours anymore." Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She just stared, at the door she couldn't unlock, the life she couldn't reclaim, the truth she couldn't rewrite. I walked inside, closed the door, her screams faded into night air. She took that from me long before she realized what it cost. Now I feel nothing. Not pity, not anger, not regret. Just clarity. She tried to ruin me. Instead, she revealed herself. Some endings aren't tragedies. They're upgrades.